I hope I can finish this chapter today. I should be wide awake. I hope. I hope I don't read myself to sleep. That's crazy how I do that. Muffins were forgotten and towing their cousin like two fuzzy little tugs. Yeah. With a fine merchantman, the children returned to the parlor where Emil kissed all the women and shook hands with all the men except his uncle. Him he embraced in the good old German style to the great delight of the observers. Didn't think I could get off today, but found I could and steered straight for old Plum. Not a soul there, so I luffed and bore away for Parnassus, and here is every man jack of you. Bless your hearts, how glad I am to see you all, exclaimed the sailor boy, beaming at them as he stood with his legs apart as if he still felt the rocking deck under his feet. You ought to shiver your timbers, not bless our hearts, Emil. It's not nautical at all. Oh, how nice and shippy and tarry you do smell, said Josie, sniffing at him with great enjoyment of the fresh sea odors he brought with them. This was her favorite cousin, and she was his pet, so she knew that the bulging pockets of the blue jacket contained treasures for her at least. Avast, my hearty, and let me take soundings before you dive, laughed Emil, understanding her affectionate caresses and holding her off with one hand while the other he rummaged out sundry foreign little boxes and parcels marked with different names, and handed them round with appropriate remarks which caused much laughter, for Emil was a wag. There's a holster that will hold our little cockboat still about 5 minutes, he said, throwing a necklace of pretty pink coral over Josie's head. And here's something the mermaids sent to Undine, he added, handing Bess a string of pearly shells on a silver chain. I thought Daisy would like a fiddle, and Nat can find her a bow, continued the sailor, with a laugh as he undid a dainty filigree brooch in the shape of a violin. I know she will, and I'll take it to her, answered Nat, as he vanished, glad of an errand, and sure that he could find Daisy, though Emil had missed her. Emil chuckled and handed out a quaintly carved bear whose head opened, showing a capacious inkstand. This he presented with a scrape to Aunt Jo. Knowing your fondness for these fine animals, I brought this one to your pen. Very good, Commodore. Try again, said Mrs. Jo, much pleased with her gift, which caused the professor to prophesy works of Shakespeare from its depths. So great would be the inspiration of the beloved Bruin. As Aunt Meg will wear caps in spite of her youth, I got Ludmilla to get me some bits of lace. Hope you'll like 'em. And out of a soft paper came some filmy things, one of which soon lay like a net of snowflakes on Mrs. Meg's pretty hair. I couldn't find anything swell enough for Aunt Amy because she has everything she wants. So I brought a little picture that always makes me think of her when Bess was a baby, and he handed her an oval ivory locket on which was painted a golden-haired Madonna with a rosy child folded in her blue mantle. How lovely, cried everyone, and Aunt Amy at once hung it around her neck on the blue ribbon from Bess's hair, charmed with her gift, for it recalled the happiest year of her life. Now I flatter myself I've just got the thing for Nan. Neat but not gaudy, a sort of sign, you see, and very appropriate for a doctor, said Emil, proudly displaying a pair of lava earrings shaped like little skulls. Horrid! And Bess, who hated ugly things, turned her eyes to her own pretty shells. She won't wear earrings, said Josie. Well, She'll enjoy punching your ears then. She's never so happy as when she's overhauling her fellow creatures and going for 'em with a knife," answered Emil, undisturbed. "I've got a lot of plunder for you fellas in my chest, but I knew I should have no peace till my cargo for the girls was unloaded. Now tell me all the news." And seated on Amy's best marble-top table, the sailor swung his legs and talked at the rate of 10 knots an hour till Aunt Jo carried them off to a grand family tea in honor of the Commodore. And if I'd have read just that much more last time, I would have been done. So, I might not get much of chapter 3 done, but I guess we'll start. For I do have the dry mouth again. That's why I got the icky stuff in the corner. Chapter 3, Joe's Last Scrape. The March family had enjoyed a great many surprises in the course of their varied career, but the greatest of all was when the ugly duckling turned out to be not a swan, but a golden goose, whose literary eggs found such an unexpected market that in 10 years Joe's wildest and most cherished dream actually came true. How or why it happened, she never clearly understood, but all of a sudden, she found herself famous in a small way, and better still, with a snug little fortune in her pocket to clear away the obstacles of the present and assure the future of her boys. It began during a bad year when everything went wrong at Plumfield. Times were hard. The school dwindled. Jo overworked herself and had a long illness. Laurie and Amy were abroad, and the Bears too proud to ask help even of those as near and dear as this generous pair. Confined to her room, Jo got desperate over the state of affairs till she fell back upon the long disused pen as the only thing she could do to help fill up the gaps in the income. A book for girls being wanted by a certain publisher, she hastily scribbled a little story describing a few scenes and adventures in the lives of herself and sisters, though boys were more